Worthiness, reclaiming, remembering, and rising.
Welcome to the Worthiness 7-episode podcast special. This is a place where we remember who we are, a place where we reclaim our authentic identity and rise in our power. I'm your host, Neo Iyana Masilela. Let's step into worthiness together today. Now, joining me, besides me, is a healer in every sense of the word, a life coach and a healing practitioner at Neo Healing Institute, a grounded listener and a living example of quiet power. Her name, I beg your pardon. She holds space for people to rediscover their voice and remember their truth. And today, she's here with us to do the same. Hi, my love. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's so lovely to have you here. Thank you
so
for
much.
sacrificing your time and your schedule to make it here.
It's an honor, and thank you for that introduction.
I love it. It's an honor to have you here. Because this podcast special, Worthiness, the intention is to remember who we are, to reclaim our power, our authentic identity, and to rise in our power, right? So we are here to just dish it out on the table,
it out.
right? So I just want you to be open,
Of course.
open-hearted,
Yeah.
open-minded, and just, be
Get it
comfortable.
all out.
Yeah. But so I want to start here. Where is your heart today, right now, in this moment?
Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
Wow. I think that's such a fascinating question to ask because just recently I had yet another heart awakening.
Okay.
You know, sitting in communion with my own ancestors and just having a remembrance of, the key part of my life, which is, I am a vessel of love. So I think my heart right now is like here, open,
Okay.
ready to receive,
Yeah.
but also just spread out,
Yeah.
and touching lives, I guess.
I love that.
I hope that's a sufficient answer.
I love that. Is that what you carry with you every day?
Of course.
in your
I
life?
think it's something that is so important to remember.
Yeah.
I've been reminded directly from the ancestors' voice over and over again that, listen, you are here to be a vessel of love
Yeah.
and nothing else and nothing more, and it is such a powerful thing to carry, but also a very difficult thing to carry because when you're looking at unconditional love as a concept, it's fun, it's cute, it's like juicy, and it's lovely.
Also buzzword. It's a buzzword
Right?
lately.
It's a buzzword, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's such a buzzword, but when you actually have to live it, when you have to be in the walk of remembering unconditional love, there's a lot of forgiving. There's a lot of softness when you want to go hard.
Yes.
There's a lot of vulnerability.
Yeah.
So I think I try every day to carry that and to live in that light of, hey, I'm a vessel of love.
Yeah.
And may love walk and run through me and work its magic through me all the time. And I do hope that everybody that I encounter feels that. in
I
some
do,
way or
definitely.
other.
I feel, one of the most powerful one of my prayers is, my constant prayers is that in every room that I enter, every space that I enter, may whoever, because I believe God is love, right? God is love, and we are created in
course.
the image and likeness of God.
course,
So I
yeah.
say, may they see less of me and more of
yes.
God.
Oh, beautiful.
That means, may you see yourself as love. May you see love more than you see me, more than you see the hair, the makeup, all of that, right?
Yeah.
See love, and may you fall in love with yourself more when you
More, oh.
experience me.
I love
So that's
that.
very powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I think it's like the act of being a walking mirror.
Yeah.
Right? Taking yourself and position yourself as a mirror of love and only allowing a person's truest reflection to shine, their truest source. And I think that's such a beautiful and powerful prayer.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm taking notes. I'm putting that one in
Well,
my
I'm
prayer
glad.
book.
Well, I wanna go. I wanna start here, right? The surface,
Yeah.
right? So you are Tlotlisa,
Yes.
right? And currently you serve as a life coach
Yes.
at Neo Healing Institute, but that's not where your journey started,
Oh no.
right? So I want you to take me all the way back. Let's get to know who Tlotliso is, affectionately known as TT.
Yeah, oh
I
my
hope
gosh,
still
back in the day.
not anymore. Okay,
No.
we've grown
We've
and
grown.
matured. Okay.
I think I think it's part of the process. In
Yeah,
fact,
absolutely.
I can't throw away the name.
Yeah.
I think it represents a part of my life that I have that's just morphed into who I am now.
Yeah.
Right. Where I began, I mean, my life, I think I've always been tapped and tuned into source. right? To God, as they call it, or whatever, that divine power. I think I have always been a person that feels deeply, a person that from a young age, I think I've always been empathetic. I think I've always been a deep feeler. So spirit has always been such an important part of my life, and I'm so grateful that I had two parents that introduced me to, I guess, what people would now call the new age spirituality, but
Yes.
who really introduced me to spirituality in its greater sense, and who reminded me, who almost like initiated me into this realm of understanding that there's something bigger than us that exists here. And so I've always been in that space, and I've just continued to grow and grow and grow in it. Obviously, I think I've had my own trials and tribulations.
Absolutely.
And I have at some point, I think, lost my own voice, lost my own way, convinced myself because of worldly pressures and worldly conditions that my own voice and my own ability to speak and trust in myself and in the higher power that works and lives through me, that had kind of taken me into a space of forgetfulness. And I think that's just the journey, right? To forget. But if you forget, then you can always remember. Remembrance is almost the path, and that's what I am embarking on right now. I mean, I've worked a couple of spaces, and I've gotten to learn so much. I've had so many different teachers who have walked into my life that, you know, have nudged my remembrance, and it might not always be in the fun, loving, kind of way. Sometimes it was difficult. Sometimes it was very tough.
Absolutely.
It was hard to know and to learn that, but here I was, and here I am. Remembering ever still, and continuously awakening in my remembering. So for me to even get to the point where I am a life coach, that was the work, right? To remember, I was coached myself.
Absolutely.
You know, like I said, I wasn't in the best of spaces. There was a point in my life where I was tired, not so long ago. You know, where I was so tired, like a soul-shattering tired. And I think that form of tired is, I'm tired of upholding something that does not belong to me. I'm tired of holding back something that is really, truly me, and caging that. And when I worked with the coach that I have, who will forever be a magical part of my life, who I met through happenstance, she helped me remember. She awakened the remembrance in me, and that's how I got to this point where I'm like, you know what, I want to show more than one person what this looks like. I want to be able to touch a life so much that they too remember. I would love to be a mirror of somebody's remembrance as well.
I love
that's
that.
What's created me.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Would you say your teachers were also served as mirrors in your personal life?
Of course.
In you slowly and gradually remembering. I love the word, the fact that you always use the word remember, because when you break that word down, it means to put yourself back together with, right? So you are a member of again. Right? So the things that we forgot, we remember. We're putting ourselves back with those things again. Right?
Oh, that's such a beautiful way of saying it. I love that so much.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, what I learned through life is that, yes, many of the teachers that I've had have been mirrors. And I think what that stands on is the concept and the idea that all is self, right? And we say this sometimes lightly, that, you know, God is everything and everything and everywhere.
Right.
And we say that.
And we don't get the depth of it.
We don't really get the depth of it, because like again, if you're looking at this couch, if you're saying God is everything and everywhere, this couch is literally God.
Absolutely.
You know, living in, well, I guess it's considered not a living thing,
but it is living, actually.
Existing, right? It's living.
Absolutely.
It is God, you know, incarnate in this beautiful brown couch,
right?
And that's that.
We have very gorgeous couches here.
Yes, by the way, thank you, couches. But you know, when we are walking through life and we meet people that, let's be honest, are not really always nice. People that are sometimes toxic. People that hurt us sometimes, and that becomes harder to think God is everything and everything and everything. I
literally wrote about that on my WhatsApp status just a couple of days ago, and I said, one of the very human things that we do is say God is all things, but when we say that, we forget that God is, when we say all things, we mean literally all things. We think God is in some things or
Yes,
some
some
things, but
things.
not in everything
Only
or
the
not
good
as
things.
everything.
Yeah, only
the good things, right?
Only things that make us happy.
When I have a lot of money in my bank account, that's God.
That's God.
Right? When everyone is happy at home, smiling, laughing, and we all have a great relationship, God is there. But when none of that is happening, God is not there. Which is not true.
Which is not
because
true.
all of that is
Every
God
single-
unfolding.
Exactly. All
Right?
the time.
Yeah.
So whether the teachers that you have in your life, I think everybody kind of is a mirror, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it,
Absolutely,
really in that
yeah.
way, that everybody who you walk with and journey with becomes a mirror.
Yeah.
That reflects back to you something, and when you look at them, you reflect something to them as well. We walk as mirrors of each other,
Yeah.
and vibrational resonance. We
Yeah.
walk, mixing, matching, and
Right.
around each other. And when we actually get to do that, if we take the opportunity in that moment to be like, this person frustrated me,
Yeah.
what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
What is this frustration here teaching me?
Right.
Because I mean, it's almost the thing where if something was not meant to bother you, or if something wasn't meant for you, it would not bother you. In fact, it would probably not even be in your field.
Yeah.
But because it's in your field, it's showing you something, it's teaching you something. And to be careful, I don't want to say that we should always keep toxic people in our lives,
Yeah.
and bad people, and people who, or let's say people who do bad things in
Right.
our lives.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, not
Yeah.
at all. I am saying though that remember always that everything is an expression of God. And when
Absolutely.
everything is an expression of God, in everything there is God, and you can find God in that
Yeah.
space. You can find remembrance again in
Yeah.
that space, and that is the healing that is unfolding. That is the becoming
Yeah.
of it all. And it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Do
Don't
you?
think for a second it's easy.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. I mean, life is not meant to be easy, right? One of the things that I don't know if you know Marianne Williamson. She wrote a book, and her title, and she based her book from A Course in Miracles, which is like my Bible.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
She says we either learn from pain or we learn from joy. Obviously, that is based on the decisions that we
That we
make,
make.
who you choose to be
Yeah.
with,
Yes.
who you choose to be, what you do, how you move around the world. All of that will bring a lesson, whether through pain or through joy. Yeah.
And your perception as well.
Yeah.
How you see the
How
world.
you see the world as well, right?
Because that perception is everything.
Yeah.
How you, and perception is actually a choice. That's,
Yeah.
that's where you can really impose. How do I choose to see this?
Yeah.
How do I choose to show up?
Yeah.
And how do I choose to perceive the situation and this place? That changes the trajectory of everything.
Yeah. So as a life coach, you have a client that comes to you and says, this is what I'm going through, and I need you to show me a different perspective about this, right? Is that the same thing that you would say to them?
I think so, but I think it's also something that we work with, because I think emotions, energy in motion,
Yeah.
as we call it, they can sometimes rile us up.
Right.
Right. And they can sometimes cloud our judgment.
Yeah.
So I think the first touch point also would just be to like, hey, let me validate that it's okay that you feel this way.
Right.
But just because you feel this way doesn't mean that's the truth of everything.
Right.
There's many
It's just an
different
experience
it's
that
just
you're
an
having.
experience that you're having.
Got you.
And it's okay. It's completely natural to
Yeah.
have that experience. We
Yeah.
all engage with life in many different ways, and we have so many different backstories
Yeah.
that influence how life, how we see life.
Yeah.
But when we start to, okay, I have the feeling and I have the emotion, I don't have to react right now.
Right.
And then we take the step further, then we start to inquire, okay, so the emotion and all that stuff, it's not really telling me a truth.
Right.
It's telling me a truth of my experience.
My experience.
How I feel about this thing.
Right.
And that is telling me something about me. So it's really about turning the lens inward. Always. I'm a firm believer of that. Like, turn the lens inward. And
Yeah.
again, I'm not perfect at it.
Right.
Sometimes we all and everybody wants to, that's not
Absolutely.
for me.
Right.
That's not for me.
Right.
And again, that's a natural and very organic thing
Right,
to
yeah.
do. No need to beat yourself up for it. But if we really want to get to the crux of healing, and if we really want to engage with transformation in a deeper sense, where if we really truly are staying true to the fact that, like what you're saying, I want to change my perspective,
right,
we have to look slightly beyond, well, it's them, it's that person, they made me feel this way.
How about
it's
me?
I feel this way.
Right.
I feel this way about this thing.
Right.
And it's your truth.
Right.
It's a telling of your own internal experience. And that will tell you your perception of the experience.
Yeah.
That will tell you what you believe, not only about this experience, but what this experience has triggered in you that reflects other experiences. And that's when you'll start to understand beliefs. And that's when you start to understand, oh, so my perception has been built on something that I thought was true.
Yeah.
That isn't really true.
Yeah.
A funny example of this, because is a show on, it's a medical show, I should say that. It's a medical show, and one of the doctors, they're resident psychologists.
Okay.
Right? And they happen to testify that some lived memory or memories that awaken after some time aren't always accurate, right? In a court case where somebody did something bad. Yeah. And their friend doctor came and said, how dare you do that? You can't do that. And then they said, why? Well, the truth is it's not a valid memory. We can't in a court case say that this memory is truth. It's sometimes not really valid. And the friend doctor was like, well, I experienced something like this. I remember a memory so deeply that just came at me at some point, and this is what happened. And the memory was of her father, when her father left, pushing her away, and her beads breaking. And that was a scene we kept seeing over and over again. And she always remembered that her father left her, her father left her, her father left her throughout her entire life, until the friend who was the psychologist said, just think back at that memory and consider, how is it if somebody pushes you, how do the beads that you're wearing on your neck fall? What does it take for beads on your neck to fall when somebody's trying to do something to you? And she realized that in fact it's a pull. When the father tried to pull the beads to her, that was when the mother pulled her away, and the beads then fell. And she realized in that moment that this perception that she had of her father, of a memory that she had built, wasn't actually the whole truth. And she lived on this memory.
Love that analogy so much. I always say, so when you look at an elephant, right? Let's use the elephant as the truth. You see, we know how huge an elephant is, right? But I'm standing at the back, you're standing on the side, and I have Cat standing in front of the elephant. Then we have Chase on the other side, right? All of us are looking at an elephant, but from different POVs, right? It's the truth, just your truth from your experience, my truth from my experience. Doesn't make you wrong for having that truth, but this is my truth from my experience, because this is how I see the elephant.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
That's completely okay.
Because we're all looking at the same thing, just differently.
Differently.
Yeah.
And it's okay to live like that. Because it's a personal thing, right? And we get to see what we want to see as well. And we get to engage with what we're seeing in front of us in a very intimate way if we're honest with it. And stop trying to co-sign perspectives as well all the time. And owning our truth. And that's part of owning our truth. You know? Knowing that this is my perspective. This is how I see it.
Right. Now, your teachers, right, that you spoke about earlier on, are they the ones that taught you all of these things that you're talking about right now, that you're teaching us so wonderfully?
I would say so. I would say so. I think part of it is also gnosis, right? The divine wisdom, the divine Sophia kind of rising in its own way. I think I always say, and I make a joke about this sometimes, that some of these things, they just come so naturally that it's like I'll hear somebody say something and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, totally, duh, and then I engage with that content. But I think I'm a seeker. I love to find out.
Yes.
So I'm always looking for so much more, and I'm always digging.
Sorry to cut you there. I really think that's what makes a great life coach. True. I don't want to take you back to your career, but like honestly, because as a life coach, your job is to ask questions,
Of course,
to find out
to
deeper.
seek.
Because
Yeah.
if you're going to come to me and say, I have a problem here or with this, more likely than not, that's not the problem.
Like literally 9 times out of 10,
It's not. That's not the problem. But how would a coach know that? Is by digging deeper, asking more questions.
digging and digging and digging.
Yeah.
Excavation. And we're so afraid of excavation.
Yeah.
Especially when we don't have the life coach
Yeah,
present.
yeah.
And we have to also do it ourselves.
Yes.
That's where it gets a little tricky.
Yeah.
But that digging is the only way you get to find the truth.
Yeah.
Because what we don't realize is that a lot of the time our experiences are layered on top of. So you don't only just have this experience.
Right.
You then have another experience that validates it.
Yeah.
And then another one that validates it. And another one that validates it. And it becomes layered.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the top of the pyramid, it's like, oh, okay, when you look down, you don't really see where this whole thing began.
Right.
But it's starting to look like something completely different because it's
An entire mess.
massive thing.
Yeah.
So the only way that we really get to anything, like they always say, get to the root.
Yeah.
Get to the root.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything else is symptomatic.
Yeah.
Dig it up.
Yeah. I love that. Did being a life coach change how you move in your life and the decisions that you take? And also, let me start with that question, then I'll follow up with another question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it's one thing to do the work and then it being in your own little world.
Yeah.
And then it's another thing now when you're becoming a practitioner of
Yeah.
work. I think I held myself at a different standard. So I don't just
Before
function-
becoming a life coach or
now
during?
that I've during the life coach
Sure.
and now making the decision to step into this work,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I hold myself not at a different standard, but at the type of place where I'm like, what
Yeah.
you have to do and how to exist and to live. So be it,
Yeah.
do it, live it and breathe it.
Yeah.
And that has had me check myself a lot more because it's like, oh, okay, how would I handle this if I was my own coach? 'Cause
Right.
I'm my first customer. I'm my
Right.
first client
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
So I coach myself too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been an excavator of my own self. I dig on
Yeah.
my own self, but it's even more now.
Yeah.
I'm unpacking so many more things now, and so many more things are actually showing up for me.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's kind of like naturally, the universe, ancestors decided, okay, cool, you're a practitioner of this thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Now
find
deal
out,
with
now
this.
Deal with this. Here's
Yeah.
the next portion of events. And that's beautiful. I mean, as difficult as it can be. But I'm actively working through very difficult emotions,
Yeah.
actively working through very difficult concepts, grief, scarcity, so many different things.
Yeah.
And another thing that I think I'm becoming more and more is dealing with, again, my own voice.
Yeah.
Right? I'm working again with my own voice and my own expression, and I'm working through that, sometimes a fear of visibility, wanting to hide away.
Yeah.
I'm not immune to that.
Yeah.
Just because I decided to be a life coach
Right.
doesn't mean that I'm immune to that.
Right.
I'm actively working on that.
Right.
And I'm taking active strides. And sometimes I lose my way. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm
Oh,
only human.
right.
I'm only human.
Yeah.
But I can always come back.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest and most beautiful thing about this process is that I remember that I can always come back.
Yeah.
Even if I'm coming back to point A, foundation A, right
Yeah.
at the bottom, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I can always
But you
come
can always
back
come
and
back.
build up. Always come back, no matter how long it takes. Always come back.
I love that. Always coming back. What are you currently coming back to right now in your life?
Oh, it's...
I know.
You're asking me the right question.
I know.
Talking it, I see you.
Yeah.
It's so strange. So I'm currently going through a situation at home, and obviously I don't want to go too deep into it
Sure.
because it involves more than one person, but this thing has had me go back to 2016, 2015, the things that my parents used to listen to and teach me.
Yeah.
Speakers and teachers that my parents used to listen to. And literally I was making a joke to my mom that I'm going back to basics. I've had to come back to basics and to build up again. And the basics is all about faith.
Yeah.
Currently I'm in a season where my faith is being shaken. Like, do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe in a real sense?
Yeah.
Deeply.
Yeah.
And it will, and I think if I might be maybe biased here because, you know, perception again.
Yeah.
But it seems like the world is kind of moving, that I think we're all rattled in a way.
Yeah.
And in my own world, it's kind of like, do you truly believe that you are whole? Do you truly believe that you are the former and fashioner of your life?
Let me tell you something. I'm clutching my pearls as you're saying this, because I'm currently having the same conversations with myself right now, right? There's a thing about faith that we don't talk about, and that is when you forget all the things that you knew, and now you have to hold on to that little faith that you have now, and you have to fight to hold on to it, because life can really happen, and you can lose all the faith that you had, all the things that you knew,
out the window, like overnight.
And it's just remembering
all over again
that all of that is God as well.
That's it.
Even if it's difficult to remember that or to hold on to that, right? You just have to remember this right now. This is all God. What am I learning from this?
Exactly. That to the T. Same thing. Like to the T, same thing, because like having to take that in a little bit, because that's really it, right? That you're going through a difficult time, and a time where, I mean, we dressed up and dolled up right now, but like, you know, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of life happening behind the scenes, actively like changing and shifting and moving, and having to navigate that. And then again, it goes back to perception. How do you want to see this right now? We could easily falter. You could have easily not shown up for this right now.
I could easily just fall to the floor and let life take its course and say, I'm done.
I'm checked out.
Like,
I'm checked out, I'm done. You know? And sometimes you need to check out. Sometimes you need to take that time to come back to self. Sometimes you need to take that time to, you know, let's be in silence a little bit so we can work on this. Let's sit. But showing up nonetheless. And choosing that, you know what, I'm choosing to see the God in this situation. And that's what I was saying at the beginning, that my heart has been activated. I'm being reminded again. Who runs this place? You know, don't forget. You are very infatuated.
My sister, let me tell you something.
But who runs this place? You know? Remember that. And remember that you stand on the feet of giants always.
All the time. And they carry you.
Always. Shoulders of giants.
I come as one and I stand as 10,000. Maya Angelou.
That is all. That is all. And when you start to awaken that part of you, it's like the power starts to, like the generators start to rile up a little bit more, you know. Now you're like, okay, I can walk, I can do this. I can do this. And I'll be okay.
What a privilege it is for you to know all of this at your very tender age. Because some people really get it at their late 50s.
Literally.
Late 40s. Into their 60s. When they're about to check out. Only then they get this. Right? How
it is more than a privilege. It is it is the biggest blessing that I've ever received. The teachers that I was telling you about. You know, the ability to be taken and woken up, like, hey, don't forget to remember. To remember is such a privilege. It's such a blessing. Never take it for granted. That's something I can never, ever, 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 ever take for granted.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we have her at Neo Healing Institute. We only have the best, right?
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. And I love being here. I'm excited for so much. And for anybody who's watching, you know, to do the
we
work,
love having you here.
We love having you here. You know? And just, this is a caveat that, you know, if you are going through something that is deep, talking to the audience members, if you are going through something that's difficult, just remember that you have a choice, maybe not in what's happening, but definitely in how you see it.
How you see it. And how you think about it.
how you approach it.
Absolutely.
That's where you have the biggest choice, and that's where you have your biggest power.
Yeah. Because you can say everyone around me saying I need to do this, but I know that that's not what I want to do, right? That's not really what I'm feeling inside. And for as long as you choose to listen to everyone around you and not do as you feel, as you are being guided to, you are in deep trouble. Right?
Big time.
Yeah.
Because I think also what it goes back to is taking responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, once you can just own your truth and take the responsibility of owning your truth, because isn't that what really has us shy away? The consequences of taking your truth. Everything has a cause and effect, right? So taking the responsibility and being able to withhold the depth of the conditions or the consequences that come after you own your truth and you own your own voice and you own that I'm not doing this.
Absolutely.
And that's it. And being able to own that and take responsibility for the fact that I'm not doing this and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with whatever comes with me not doing this thing. You know, and that's part of the owning your voice and awakening your truth thing comes from. Is can you take responsibility? Are you courageous enough to be able to withstand and withhold and take in all that comes with it? Because it's a lovely thing to own your voice. It's a lovely thing.
It's a very powerful thing.
But it comes with a lot. It comes with a lot to hold. There's a lot of responsibility with it. So are you courageous enough to take responsibility for it? Are you courageous enough to be in where you are and take it up and own it bravely and wildly?
I love that. I really do love that. All right, I have a few questions before we close this off. Right, you were at the Worthiness space, Worthiness podcast special, and obviously everything that we talk about here is centered around worthiness and how you see yourself as worthy of the things that you know, the things you do, who you are in the world. What does worthiness mean to you?
What does worthiness mean to
or worthy, just the word worthy. Give me a sentence, a one-liner.
To be sovereign.
To be sovereign.
Yeah, to be sovereign. To know what you come with, you know, to know what you are. And to own it. To own it. And to know that you have jurisdiction over all that you are. And nobody can touch it. Nobody can take it away from you. That's what being worthy is. It's freedom, it's sovereignty.
Would you say that's something that you're still learning, or something that you have? Okay,
it is definitely something that
you're still learning.
I think it's an active piece of work that you know, true sovereignty. I think it's an active piece of work, and it's ever changing, and you'll always find out the many different ways in which you co-sign beliefs that are not yours, especially living in this very social world that we're living in. So I think that's what makes it a ever becoming, ever moving thing. But it's happening. It's moving through me. Nonetheless, it's happening.
It has no choice but to happen.
Oh, not at all.
Not with the life that we live, right? Not in the world that we live in. Not with the constant change that is happening in the world.
Of course.
Yeah. Do you have anything that you would like to say to that young girl, that young Tlotliso, who did not believe that she would be where she is today, saying the things that she's saying, knowing the people that she knows, working with the people that she works with? Is it something that you hold in your heart that you would love to say to that young girl?
You are enough.
Yeah.
You know, you are enough. You're not too much.
Yeah.
You know, you're not too little.
Yeah.
Everything that you are, you're going to find out that is everything that you need to be. So that's the main thing. It's just to sum it up. That literally you are enough.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I love you so much.
I love you.
I love you so
I love
much.
you. Thank you so much for making
such an amazing conversation.
Elegance meets hydration. Premium, local, refreshing. Proud sponsors of the Worthiness podcast. Stay hydrated, stay worthy. Go Zone Water, available at Park Dean Boulevard.